enjoy wisdom. Tonight's podcast is 7 reasons why Nowwire rises me out of Rewire. Introducing Nowwiring is never a fix. It's a flare of the dare that illuminates my here and now wow by threading intuition through every breath, dissolving delay, decoding canonized presence. As rewire implies repair from the past, programming, now wiring is ignition, ignites my paths of enlightenment, and unleashes my unfoldment of my dreamer's dexterity that is energized circuitry of liberated instinct, streaming fresh signal waves of brave from the source. It never connects, never corrects, it connects. It never restores, it unveils my present moment gifts. This is never recovery, this is revelations. Why now wire rises me out of rewire. This one's electric. We're never rewiring, we're now wiring. Rewire wants to fix the old grid. Now wire is free-flowing, fresh frequencies of sassy-clever insights that show my now wire raises me out of the dire straits of rewire. As rewire repairs, Nowwire rebels. Rewire says, let's gently reprogram the trauma, as Nowwire kicks down the firewall and says, let's route the whole damn system through my dreamer's dexterity and pioneer prowess. It never soothes the glitch. It celebrates it and liberates it. You never heal. You ignite the light of life within yourself. As rewire loops, Nowwire leaps. Rewire wants to optimize a loop. Nowwire wants to interrupt it. It's a clever spark that says, why reframe the cage when you can melt the bars and have a free-flowing energy. As you rise, never tweaking the pattern, but by dancing out of it. Barefoot and sovereign. Rewire whispers, Nowwire chants. Rewire is polite, clinically calibrated. Nowwire is rhythmic, ritualistic, and unapologetic, unrehearsed, uneducated, and alive. It never asks, how do we fix it? It chants, what wants to rise through this, and where's the wisdom hiding inside it? You never just rewire, you now wire your breath into a broadcast of your wisdom, the divine ignition of Nowwire. A living conduit of intuitive signal waves that threads presence into motion. Unlike rewire, which implies repair from the past programming, Nowwire activates the here and now, a direct stream of liberated instinct, poetic clarity, nomadic gumption. It's never correction. It's communication, connection, contour, and collaboration. Never memory. It's upward and onward momentum to float me down my river to my oceans of opulence, surfing on my seas of success. To Nowwire is to dissolve, delay, decode, breath-line veracity, and let imagination fly unfiltered. As Nowwired is a glyph of ignition, a chant of clarity, a ritual of nowality revelations. Why now rises me out of re. Here are 3 medium-sized, innovative, wise keynotes that pulse the rhythm of your prime-time, trend-setting imagination. Rises you out of repetition, reprogramming, reassurance, and recycled enlightenment. Now is never a time stamp. It's a rupture. It's a moment when the program loop glitches, when the obedient script stutters, and your breath reclaims authorship. Now doesn't wait for permission. It ignites. It's the sovereign flare that burns through the RE words of the world, which is recycled knowledge from yesterday and bursts raw, untamed clarity of not here and now. Now is the friction that ignites the screw-ups that are sacred ignitions sculpting my Michelangelo artistry of my here and now. The Re-Systems teaches repair, now inspires revelations, energizing my inner wise. Every misstep is in every rupture, every wrong move becomes a glimpse of ignited awakenings. You rise never by fixing, but by energizing friction of autonomous artistry. Into chant, into breath line of the prime time trendsetter intuition, magically expands you through life with ease. Everything you do, you always want to do it with ease. I rise out of this with ease, as now is an unpunctuated, unrehearsed, and a dynamic presence. Your rhythm, never socialized, obedient grammar. Re wants to pause, reflect, obey, comma, in the conformity of your comfort zone programming. Now is your sovereign articulated audacity, vibrating unpunctuated pulse of gladiator gumption. It's where ritual replaces routine and your energetic architecture overrides the self-help scaffolding that falls away as soon as you energize your now way of life. Why Nowwire rises me out of negative repetition, cognitive recollections. Nowwire short circuits the same loop with sovereign sass. Negative recollections love to play the reruns and hit repeat on your life events. Guilt, doubt, regret, all on repeat. But as Nowwire never watches the rerun, it hacks the signal and it energizes what did I do wrong with what did I just awaken. It replaces what did I do wrong with what did I just awaken. You never spiral, you spark the arc to hearken the wisdom of your daily life. Nowwire is never a memory wipe. It's a here and now featureless canvas with the movie of your desired lifestyle. It never deletes the past. It claims it as the here and now as fresh wisdom to expand through life. These cognitive recollections Nowwire turns into glyphs, chants, and friction fuel, fostering unlimited enterprising lure, opens your colorful curiosity. You rise never by forgetting, but by framing the fresh foresight you attain by questioning whatever that event was. Every mistake becomes a metaphor that ignites your light of life, and every loop becomes a launch pad to rocket you out of yesterday into today's heydays. Nowwire speaks fluent interruption. It never asks permission to interrupt the program narrative. It's the energetic mic drop that says, we're done rehearsing drama, and all my past pain. We're scripting sovereignty of the here and now because we attained the wisdom, insight, and clarity of every situation that is here and now. And see, that's the thing about the past. It doesn't exist. It's actually a circuit board of now that is activated and triggered by your outside world. And here's something that you may want to really open up to is the outside world's innocent. You punch the buttons of your own mood circuitry of the past. The outside world is basically it's an instigator and troublemaker to see whether you're going to rise, shine, and energize, or you're going to slumber into a sleep of self-sabotage. We're done rehearsing trauma, and we're scripting the sovereignty. It's savvy enough to understand the system tricks and sassy enough to dance through them. And see, that's the thing. We fall prey to yesterday's memory board that controls today. So as we unleash the now, we naturally open the wanderer's curiosity to look all the past in the eye and say thank you, but goodbye. Why rewire? Why rewire recircuits reveals? Why rewire recircuit reveal and redo keeps you living in the past, trying to repair the past, stopping you from the here and now, and you from getting to the here and now. Rewire is a nostalgia mechanic. It keeps fixing the ghost car. You're never driving it anymore, but Rewire insists on tuning the engine, repairing the trauma drama, and polishing the regret to be controlling you today. It's clever in theory, but in real life, it's really, you're stuck in the muck of yesterday. As you're stuck in the garage of memory while the ignition of now waits untouched, unblemished, and ready to rock and roll you to your dance floor of your soaring ardor. Sovereignty never restores. It routes it to the highest way and the smoothest way for you to experience your life. Reveal and redo, rehearse the wound instead of releasing the rhythm. They say, let's understand what happened, but the loop becomes a performance. You keep staring in the trauma play, hoping the ending changes, but it never does. Meanwhile, Nowwire is backstage chanting your breath line, ready to write the script with rhythm, insight, and clarity, never repair. Why expressing my now-inspired lingo chauffeurs me through my here and now with ease. Inspired lingo is a rhythm vehicle. It bypasses the potholes of programming while others detour through doubt and default scripts. Your coin cadence glides past the wreckage of obedience. It never just speaks. It never speaks. It's sovereign. It never speaks. It's sovereign steering, chauffeuring you through the situation through listening, questioning, and energizing. You never explain reality. You name it to the here and now's nowography. Your lingo is a mirror ball or GPS. It reflects your essence while routing the inertia of your internal natural, engendering robust, trend-setting invitations, appreciating life. Each metaphor, chant, or breath line is never decoration, it's direction. You're not lost in the fog of what I say. You're cruising in the clarity of what you desire to be said. That's never communication, it's communion, communication, connection, contour, and collaboration. So you're always in collaboration with your desired outcome. Everything in life is a collaboration because you're trying to collaborate this with this and for your desired outcome. Expressing inspired lingo flips the script. It turns friction into fuel instead of stalling out in confusion or replaying the old loops. Your words ignite, your lingo ignites the moment. They never just describe, they declare. And every declaration is a door. You never walk through time. You're chauffeured through it as your driver takes you to where you desire to be. Why these key points energize me and energizing my daily scampers. Express your now lingo aloud, daily, deliberately, and defiantly. Start your morning with a breathline chant using your coin terms. Let your voice chauffeur your body into the presence. I wake up every morning, I'm sovereign. Then I answer this question, why is today the best day of my life? I never rewire. I route my energy into the light of life to illuminate my path of enlightenment to show me a better way. I never redo, I declare, unleashing my rare breed credence to celebrate life my way. I never reveal, I radiate my innate heart and soul splendor. I express it while walking, stretching, or sipping the first sip of coffee, tea, or whatever. Let, let it be a ritual ignition, never a mental affirmation. Use your inspired lingo to interrupt the loops. When you catch yourself rehearsing old scripts, doubt, delay, repair, drop a metaphor bomb. Say, this is never a trauma play. I'm not auditioning for the past. I'm the director, the movie star, the megastar of my now. Let your coin language be the pattern disruptor that flips inertia into the artistry of your desired lifestyle. Design the micro rituals that move your lingo through your body to excite your veins of vibrant energy, invigorating now, streaming your artistic arteries of your desired lifestyle. Create a glyph or a gesture for each key point. When you feel friction, trace the glyph, move the gesture. A hand sweep for routing the now, a chest tap for declare, a breath pulse for the ignite. Because see, we never had a mistake. We've just ignited their ignitions to rise out of the past. Energetic choreography that rewires reality through rhythm, never repair. While the world speaks from the past, always trying to rewire, redoing something from the past, staying stuck, being a servant from the past, in their past. So let's slice through the spellbinding fog of global obedience. The world's obsession with rewiring and redoing is a loyalty ritual to the past and your comfort zone programming. A ceremonious stuckness disguised as progress. Here are some clever sassy key points that expose the circuitry. Rewire is the world's favorite disguise. It calls itself healing, but it's really rehearsing and replaying yesterday. Systems love to say we're evolving, but they're just looping yesterday's trauma and drama with a prettier language. It's never transformation, it's a rerun. The world never wants or desires ignition. It wants comfort in the familiar wounds of yesterday. Redo is a servant spell. It keeps you packing the same suitcase for a trip you've already taken. Ain't that kind of what we do in life? We pack yesterday and keep taking a trip that we've already taken. So this is my favorite question. I always ask myself, at least once or twice a day, how does today mirror yesterday? And everything you think you know is from yesterday, and they're cognitive recollections and repeats in your mind. As soon as you say the mind, it's ready to replay the pain of your past. Every fresh initiative forms or boots is just a remix of the same old obedience. The world never wants to arrive, it wants to prepare forever. Sovereignty never redoes, it declares, departs, and chauffeurs itself to the beaches of bountiful bliss. Speaking from the past is a controlled chant. It keeps the now unspoken, unclaimed, and unignited and bland. The world speaks in echoes because silent terrifies it. It recites old scripts to avoid the rawness of the presence. And how is that going on in history? And you look at the media, how does that keep replaying the scripts of the past? As you speak, as you express in breath lines, never echoes. You chauffeur the now while the world polishes its chains. Why Nowwire inspiration liberates my here and now. When you plug into Nowwire, you're never just accessing inspiration. You're activating liberation circuitry. It's never a download, it's a detonation. Rupturing yesterday to experience today in lush rapture. Clever clarity is that reveal why Nowwire inspiration sets you here and now. Why they unveil why Nowwire inspiration sets you here and now ablaze with your trailblazer brilliance. Nowwire bypasses the archive. It never consults with the past. It conducts the present. While the world asks what happened, Nowwire asks what's pulsing in liberation, foresight, and the frequencies of easy. It never needs permission from memory. It's a direct line to the living signal waves of your brave, bold adventurer's ardor to soar through life. It's never a reflection, it's ignition. See, that's what the challenges, chaos, adversity, controversy, they're ignitions to ignite your light of life. Nowwire inspirations are sovereign coordinates. They orientate you by essence, never by history. Redo, repass, that's all history. Instead of mapping your path through old wounds, borrowed wisdom, and knowledge, Nowwire drops a fresh glyph in your gut. You never follow a plan, you follow the pulse. And the frequencies of your laser beam to show for you to your desired lifestyle. That's never guidance. It's gravitational clarity. It just shows you the path and chauffeurs you down it. Nowwire liberates by dissolving delay. It never waits for readiness. It is always readiness in action. You never rehearse, reframe, or repair. You respond in fond. As Nowwire never asks you to become, it reminds you and it expresses to you, you already are. That's never motivation. It's in the moment embodiment of inspiration. Why unveil rises me out of reveal. Reveal is a flashlight in the archive. Unveil is the sunrise in the now. You never just uncover, you uncage the unfoldment of your desired lifestyle. Some sassy, candy insights that show why unveil elevates you beyond the obedient mechanics of reveal. Reveal explains, unveil exposes the path of enlightenment. Reveal wants to narrate the wound and antidote and speak of the past and the footnote the pain. Unveil never bothers with commentary. It rips the curtain back and lets the raw, untamed signal waves of your shining, fresh foresight light the light of life. You never get closer, you get clarity. How would it feel to stop looking for closure and just experience the clarity and just forever follow the path? Reveal is a therapist tool. Unveil is a sovereign torch that lights the path of enlightenment, chauffeurs you on to your trails of triumph. Reveal asks, what happened to you? Unveil declares what's rising through you. One keeps you seated in analysis, the other one stands up in activation and puts you on the stage of your desired lifestyle. You're never processing, you're proclaiming the prowess of your life. Reveal is a confession, unveil is a coronation. Reveal seeks understanding and knowledge, as unveil commands embodiment. You're never asking to be seen. You're showing up as the signal waves of your heart and soul beaming through you to the world. Never an apology, never an explanation, just presence in full regala. Why now begin chauffeurs me to the now begin chauffeur me to now I won promised land. You activate the now begin, you're never just starting, you're sovereignly arriving. It's never the first step, it's the threshold of ignition, illuminating that path of that trail of triumph. There's some canny, ingenious key points that reveal why now I begin chauffeurs you straight on to your I now unto I won promised land. Now begin dissolves delay. It never asks how, it declares here. While the world waits for readiness, now begin is readiness to rock and roll your sleek, unique talents. It never rehearses and initiates the path. You never tiptoe towards destiny, you inhabit it. The promised land is never a location, it's a linguistic stance of your dreamer's paradises that you experience on your featureless canvas in your third eye movie screen. Now begin is a sovereignty switch. It flips from seeker to signal. You're never chasing clarity, you're channeling it. Now I begin never asks you to earn arrival. It reminds you you already own it. The moment you express from now I begin, you're no longer becoming, you're broadcasting your true talents. Now begin chauffeurs with wisdom, never roadmap. It moves by pulse, never permission. You never need a plan. You need a pulse point of your desired outcome. Now I begin is a breath line vehicle that bypasses bureaucracy of becoming. It never consults the past. It conducts the promise of now. Why now lingo is liberating, intuitive, nomadic gumption, expresses my streaming inspiration, free-flowing imagination, fashion designer innovation, letting fly my sleek, unique talents that show for me onto my oceans of opulence. These liberating insights strut like a sovereign peacock on a runway of rhythm of revolutionary revelations. Your now lingo is never just expressive, it's liberation contours. It tailors your essence into motion, letting your sleek, unique talents fly like silk in a windstorm. Just smooth. See that silk floating in that windstorm just effortlessly? Here's some clever, ingenious key points that spotlight why your liberating, intuitive, nomadic gumption unleashes your streaming inspiration, fashion designer imagination. Now lingo is your energetic wardrobe. It dresses your imagination in motion. You never wear recycled phrases. You stitch breath lines into bespoke spoken declaration. Each coined term is a fabric of freedom. Each metaphor a seam of sovereignty. You're never just speaking, you're styling the signal waves. Nomadic gumption is your design studio. It moves with instinct, never instruction. You never sit still, sketch. You roam the rhythm, sourcing inspiration from friction, intuition, and the pulse of presence. Your imagination is never boxed. It's tailored by terrain. That's never creativity. It's a contour of artistry that just colors your world with your dreamer's paradises. Streaming inspirations are your runway that let your talents take flight without fittings or filters. You never rehearse, you release and dance. Your ideas never wait for approval. They arrive fully formed, sleek, and sovereign. You're never just a fashion designer. You're a frequency sculptor, letting your talents fly in real-time culture. As you're free to fly, you flow with ease. And that's something, if you take the word, every reword, redo, rethink, whatever, and just put them into now inspired declaration, show me the way. It's about getting a vocabulary of now and stop using the vocabulary of the past. And on Thursday night's podcast, we're going to do how change, heal, create, transformation, and forgiveness all keep you in the past, and expand, energize, enterprise, and inspiration chauffeur you through the now with ease. And I want to thank you and good night, and may your life be as blessed as you're a blessing to me in the world.